Are you here? Your presence was requested, and you are here, tuned in to episode number 1052 of The Paul Leslie Hour. You know, Toni Holt Kramer is making her third appearance on the Paul Leslie Hour to share some sentiments and goodwill on the 60th Inaugural Ceremonies. To put that another way, 45 becomes 47. Toni Holt Kramer is the founder of the Trumpettes, which has chapters everywhere, not just in the USA. But it all started with some correspondence Toni wrote that may have been a bit prophetic. Here's how Toni put it the first time she spoke with Paul.
And I'd write to him, and it was so funny. I just dropped this little note. Dear Mr. President, this was around 2013 now. It became like a running gag.
Just a few real quick notes before we bring out Toni. Keep in mind, ladies and gentlemen, the Paul Leslie Hour is made possible by viewers and listeners like you. So please visit www.thepaulleslie.com/support. And we thank you. And now what do you say we start the show? Let's do that. Indeed.
How are you?
Oh, I'm doing good.
Yeah.
Wow, what a lovely dress.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. Well, we've had a chance to speak a number of times, but this is the first time we've gotten to speak in crystal video.
Crystal video. I like that. That's great.
Well, thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure, of course. You know I love to be with you. It's always interesting. It's always conversational. It's
Right.
always entertaining. What could be bad?
Exactly. And in historic times, I might add, we
Yeah.
are mere days from the 60th presidential inauguration in history. And this is only the second time in history that we've had a non-consecutive president, and that president, of
Mhm.
course, is Donald J. Trump.
That's right.
So, what is going through the head of Toni Holt Kramer?
Well, first of all, I think, God, I had great taste. Really good, because I was sending him letters 3 or 4 years before there was even talk about him running on the weekend as being a member of Mar-a-Lago since 2010 or 11, I'm not sure. I observed so much he would be down with Melania on the weekend from New York or whatever. And I said to my husband after about a year or two of being a member there, I said, you know, it's just amazing. I mean, he has to be the most well organized person on the planet because, you know, all success and all businesses and everything, it starts at the top.
Right.
It's the visionary, the person who is the leader, you know, who sets the rules. You can get great people to work for you, and even greater if they abide by your wishes or compliment them even more by suggesting and adding things. But I said, you know, it's too bad he doesn't run our country. I said, I think he'd do a really great job. Well, that kind of hung around me for a while, Paul. And then I don't know, I love to read. I'm totally into financial markets and political markets and all of that. And I always say that if you deal with finances and the stock market, then you have to be aware of what's going on politically in every country too. Because everything, as you know, it's all one world, really.
Mm.
And I started to send him little notes on the weekend across. The maitre d' would take it over, or one of the waiters, and I'd say, Dear Mr. President. I mean, Where did that come from? I don't know. And that went on for a couple of years that I did that. Now, I didn't put the idea in his head because, if you go back years ago on interviews that he did, when he was young, really young, people mentioned, would you ever want to run for president or something like that? But at this point in time, nobody was saying that, but I just kept saying, he's just a natural. He's the one that's got to do it. So after a while, when he did decide to run in 2015, a decade ago, yikes, I said, gee, I think I should form a group. And I did. And then we named it Trumpettes USA. And that was a good thing because there's trumpet socks and there's trumpets, that, I don't know. Trumpets USA, no one had used. And I didn't check it until after I thought of it. And that's how it was born. And now my gratitude really goes out to all the members and people that have supported the president, including the Trumpettes, all over the globe. We have chapters everywhere. We have members everywhere. We have a lot of members that do not want their name or photo on the website, probably 50-50, quite honestly, easily. You'll get 10 yeses, yes, publish my name and photo, and you'll get 10, please, no. They just write no. Do you want your photo? No. Do you want your name? No. Do you want to, they want the emails. They want to be aware of everything. They're with you. They follow you. But for various and sundry reasons, people don't want their personal feelings known. Maybe it's because of who they work for or their family or whatever. But whatever it is, they deserve all the credit. They deserve all the thanks as well, because these people have supported him from day one. Not that we're not. What's interesting to me is that after he won on November 5th, and it sunk in, and I knew he was going to win. I just knew it. Wasn't hard to figure out anyway, considering. But he himself, the crowds that he drew all these years. And then I thought, well, what are the Trumpets going to do? Now we got him elected. I guess, what do? We retire. And I really thought about, what am I going to do with us? I've got people everywhere. What do I tell them in Sicily? What do I tell them in London? What do I tell them in Germany? What do I tell them in Australia? What do I tell them? And then, to my surprise, greatly, we started getting more people joining per day now than we've ever had. And we have a lot, but every day we have, maybe it's only one or two, but it's every day.
Wow.
And that's incredible to me. So I thought about it for 20 minutes and I said, well, this is easy. Why didn't I think about it? People care. They want to know. They want to be on the so-called inside of what's happening. They want to hear, they want to know what happened at Mar-a-Lago. They want to know what Melania is wearing. They want to know what the president's going to do. They want to hear it with my take. They're used to, I hope, or I think, the way I tell a story to them, the way I tell them, the way I post, whatever I have to say, and we just keep growing. I don't know.
The Trumpettes continue, and I want to remind everybody, it's free to join.
Oh, yeah, totally free. And we now have something new. We have Trumplings.
Trumplings. Now, what is that?
We have Trumpettes, which are women.
Right.
We have Trumpsters, which are men. And now we have Trumplings, which are the young people, like teenagers.
Oh.
The young group. If you're under 21, you should join the Trumplings.
Well, that's good.
I mean, what the heck? Got to keep broadening out.
Exactly. Exactly. Now, I want to touch on something you mentioned here, the correspondence, these letters that you and President Trump would exchange. He's so famous for his letters that he has a whole book, Letters to
Uh-huh.
Trump.
Right.
What kind of things?
Right here behind me.
Oh, yeah.
I'll
Well,
show it to you.
I know they'd appreciate the publicity, that's for sure.
Oh, for sure. Not that he needs it.
Exactly.
But we're going to be doing a coffee table book, no untitled at the moment, but all about the Trumpettes and all about from the day we started. Everything is documented, and we've done, I don't know, not counting today, I don't know, somewhere close to 500 interviews
Wow.
all over the world. Now, that's television, that's newspaper, that's radio, that's, you know, what do you call it? Just on air, streaming, all of
Right?
that. I mean,
Podcasts.
but all over the world, all over. So we figure, and we have pictures. We have lots of photos, lots of interesting things behind the scenes. So we're going to be doing that too coming this year.
Right. Excellent.
Yeah.
Well, I wanted to talk about somebody who, this is an interesting little fact. He has sung at one of the Trumpettes events, and he was one of the first actors in Hollywood. He wrote an op-ed for Breitbart saying, no, the idea of Trump being president is actually a fantastic idea. And that man is Robert Davi.
The best.
Isn't he, though?
The best. They don't make them like that anymore.
They do not. He's spectacular. Can you tell us about the first time you met Mr. Davi?
I sure can. It was in 2018. And I think that was our very first event celebrating Trump, red, white, and blue at Mar-a-Lago. And a friend of mine said, who are you going to have entertained? And I said, well, I think we're going to have Judge Janine speak. And I really would love to have a singer who I think is so great. He's like so good. And he's so conservative. And he has had such a rough time because he is such a strong Republican, so caring, and has, I think, been really hurt professionally a little bit from his outspoken and very, very caring ways about America and the way he wants it to go. And they said, what's his name? And I said, his name is Robert Davi, and I don't know him. I've seen him at a lot of events that I've been to before the president was president, but I've never met him. And they said, well, wouldn't you know, I have a friend who's very close with him. So the rest is history. I got to call him. I got to meet him. He came in, he did the show. He was going with a beautiful girl then named Diana. And I met her. And this funny small world, right?
Right.
New Year's Eve, I didn't go to Mar-a-Lago, which we used to do a lot, but my husband is not up to it right now. So I decided to do a small party at home. And who do you think? I mean, and I say small, like 22 people for a New Year's Eve party. That's not a big party. Robert and Diana were here. Of course, they're married. They have a beautiful 5-year-old daughter now, about five and a half. And we're very close friends. I just texted with him this morning. So you mentioned he's one of the most incredibly dedicated and knowledgeable. Sitting next to him at New Year's Eve was another man who was so incredible, who has written about Mar-a-Lago. In fact, he wrote a book called Mar-a-Lago. He has many successful books. He has a TV series running now that is breaking all records. His name is Lawrence Lima. I'm sure you've heard of him. Larry Lima and Robert Davi were in this really incredible conversation back and forth. And the details, just listening to the two of them, especially to Robert, who really knows every little thing about the Republican Party and the people and this, and oh, it was incredible. What a great, great night.
And I'm sure it was special to bring in the new year, knowing that we're getting the 45th president as our 47th president.
Yeah.
What do you think we can learn from President Trump, Toni?
Oh, that is a great question. And I'll tell you what I really believe. Number one, the first thing you have to do is believe in your strength. That's number one. Believe that you yourself are so strong and so good at what you do that you are going to overcome whatever it is. The second thing is, he doesn't believe in losing. So you have to say, I will never even think about the word lose. I'm not going to lose. I don't know how to lose. President will say right out, I don't know how to lose. I don't know how to do it. Therefore, what other choice do you have? You have to win, right? And that's him. I remember saying to him back in, I think it was 2019, he had stopped by at a party at Mar-a-Lago. There was a luncheon that he and his sister Elizabeth gave with another lady, a wonderful lady, Mrs. Portego. And he came by because they were honoring their old friend, Hermie DeWine Miro, who had turned 100. And they were having this great luncheon. I was fortunate enough to be invited. And I adore Hermie, and I adored the whole idea and the whole group. And I'm sitting there, and all of a sudden, who walks in the room straight off the golf course? President Trump. He's all sweated up, and just you know how you look after you play 18 or 36 holes of golf, and he's been known to play 36 in one day. He came in, he said, I just wanted, and I have the photographs. It's so touching, how he wanted to congratulate her, and he adores her. He's known her forever. She was thrilled, of course. And then I said to him on the way out, I said, I don't have a picture of you like this. Usually he's in a tie and a jacket and the whole thing. I said, would you mind doing one photo? It would be great to show you just coming in from the golf course on all my shows. No, come on, let's take a picture. So I turned around to him, took a couple of pictures, and I turned around to him and I said, I think you will go down in history as the greatest president America has ever had. And he looked at me and he said, you think so? I said, yeah, I really do. He said, few other people have said that to me too. And I'm telling you, he really, in his mind, he has got a job. He is going to leave the White House in 4 years after he gets in, and he is going to leave as the best president that America has ever known, because he is going to do more, not only for America, but for the world. He, you know how tough he is. I don't have to tell you, but he's fair. That's the difference. He's not a dictator. He's not someone that says he thinks incessantly about things, about everything. And yet with it all, as much as he will think himself, he'll still ask other people around him, what do you think? What would you do with this or that? Oh, what do you think about this or the other thing? He loves to get opinions. And he'll take opinions from a lot of people. I don't know what he does with them. I guess he processes them and says, I wonder, did I miss something? Or is this worthy of thinking of? I'm supposing, I don't know. But I do know that he will do what he says he will do. That's for sure. So the good times are about to roll. Not to say there probably won't be some tough.
Correct.
I mean, there has to be, because you don't come into a situation like this and not have a lot of stuff to do that's going to be painful at times too.
Exactly.
Hey, here it is in the middle of this episode, the Paul Leslie Hour. We're going to take just a quick moment to ask a favor. Won't you subscribe to Paul's YouTube channel? I'm sure if you do, you will be one happy person. And above all else, following Paul on X, formerly known as Twitter, at the Paul Leslie. And remember to say hi to Paul. Now, back to the show.
Well, someone named Catherine, and she specifies Catherine with a C here, she wondered if I could ask you this question. What advice would you give to someone who finds themselves with the opportunity to meet President Trump in person?
I would say go for it. He's very friendly and he loves people. And if she has the opportunity to meet him in person, well, by all means, and just be prepared to say, whatever it is you want to know. Just say, I'm so happy to meet you. What do you think about this state? Or what do you think about politics in this? Or what do you think about? Ask him anything. He's so well versed and well read. They say he reads a minimum of 5 newspapers before 7 o'clock in the morning. Some people say he reads it before 5:30 in the morning. So he's a man that obviously requires very little sleep and never is exhausted. I've never seen him look tired, feel tired, or act tired. I don't know many people that can do that.
It's quite extraordinary.
It is. It's almost like, it's really super. It's like, sometimes I call him Superman.
As you should.
Yeah.
So in closing here, what is your biggest hope for this second term of President Trump's?
Oh, goodness. Do I have to refine it to one?
I guess the one that's at the top of mind.
Well, I don't know. I mean, what I want to see is I want to feel the safety in America again. I want people to be able to feel comfortable having their children and themselves go to church, go to a concert, go to a movie theater. I want police to be respected. I want to have law and order. I want to have the borders closed. That doesn't mean I don't want people coming in from other countries. I want them just coming in the right way. We don't want crazy people coming in. We don't want people emptying the prisons and sending us their most favorite killer. And we don't want the insane asylums being emptied out by sending us their biggest nut job. I want that. I want to see hatred between people, bigotry. I hate that. I want to stop with this transgender crap. I mean, that is just awful. People should have the right to be whatever they want to be, but at an age that is appropriate for a person to make a decision. That is important. I guess I have a laundry list, don't I? But those are some of the things that are so important to me. The economy. I want to see people be able to have their food that they want and their medication. One of my founders, it runs Tri-County Animal Rescue. You have no idea how many people have turned in their dog this year. Came to her and said, I can't take care of my dog. I can't feed him. I can't take him to the vet. What she did was say, okay, you keep your dog. We'll supply you with a year free food and a year free medical.
Wow.
Yeah, because you don't want to separate people from their animals or animals from their people.
No.
Their family. It matters. So, yeah, I want to see all that. I want to see all that change. I want to see, I think we've had undoubtedly the most horrific administration the past 4 years. I mean, I don't know. You could not force me to give one compliment because I can't. I'd want to if I could. I really would, but I could think of a lot of negatives, which I don't have to say because, obviously the people felt it, or there wouldn't have been the landslide. They're still counting.
Right.
All the people, they're still counting the ballots. There were so many in favor of the president. There's a reason for that. Never underestimate the intelligence of a human being. And that's what they did.
Yeah. Well, Toni Holt Kramer, it's a pleasure, a great pleasure.
Paul.
And I'm so glad to get you here on video. And I'll tell you
My
this.
pleasure too.
At the inauguration, you will be in my thoughts all day.
Oh, thank you. Here, do you want to say hello to my dog?
Oh, yeah.
Come here. Come here. Here, he loves the camera. He walked away. He never met a camera he didn't like. Anyway, he's a rescue, so I was just giving him a little plug. North Carolina Poodle Rescue.
Right.
They're wonderful people. Do me a favor, Paul.
Sure.
I would just like to say, number one, thank you to you. Happy New Year to you and your family. And I'd also like to ask everyone who is out there who cares about our country, please join Trumpets USA. We'll keep you up to date. We don't charge a penny. It is all for free. You can leave if you don't like it. We send you emails. Jose is on it all the time, sending out the emails of whatever we do, videos and so forth. Like if you send me this link after you air it, we'll be happy to place it all over the world if it's okay with you.
Oh, that's more than okay with me.
Okay, you're on.
All right. Well, thank you so much. God bless you. God bless your family.
Thank you.
And all your friends and all the other Trumpettes and Trumpsters. And of course, that beautiful poodle.
Thank you. The same to you and yours.
All right. God bless.
Bye-bye, everybody.
Bye-bye. Until next time.
That's right.
Bye-bye.
We thank you and appreciate you dropping in for the Paul Leslie Hour today. You can help the Paul Leslie Hour in our mission to provide independent media content like this by visiting www.thepaulleslie.com/support. We truly thank you. This is your announcer speaking. Performance of The Entertainer intro song and Corina outro song, courtesy of John Primerano. Well, that's it for today. So until next time, be safe and be good.